the India AI Impact Summit that's due to happen in the next 2 weeks, right? So what are we overall as generic people looking, because AI has been such a big buzz term and in terms of infrastructure and implementations and investments that's happening. So what are we all looking forward to? What's TechM's role in the summit, and also overall as to what kind of infrastructure implementations may happen throughout?
No, I think everybody under, worth any salt in AI, I can just say would be there in the IndiaAI Impact Summit, which happens between 16th to 20th of February. Obviously, we are there. We are presenting what we have been chosen to do as an educational LLM.
Okay.
So we are part of the group of 12 companies who were chosen, and we had the very rare privilege and honor to meet the PM to understand his viewpoint in terms of what he wants to do as well for India. I think the way we look at it, there are three themes for India AI Summit. One is people, planet, and the other is progress.
Right.
How do we make sure whatever AI we do gets diffused with a lot of people in the country? And whatever we are doing, is it harmful or useful for the planet, or at least we are not harming the planet more?
Right.
And does it lead to India's progress in general? So, of course, Tech Mahindra did Indus as Project Indus as a 1.2 billion parameter about 2-3 years back. We thought that we would extend Indus, and since we've been dealing with the educational domain for quite a bit, why don't we extend it using an educational LLM?
Right.
And we said we'll narrow down the scope. We won't go really wide off in terms of what we want to do. We looked at physics as a concept, and we said anybody who's reading grade 6 to grade 12 in physics should be able to now get a real picture of physics from Indus as an educational LLM in the language of their own choice, right? So we started obviously with Hindi, but all the dialects of Hindi, Bhojpuri, Maithili, Dogri, you can ask questions to physics. Can you maintain your own timetable, for example? And the other portion that we obviously said to the government was that we have our own agentic enterprise platform called Orion. We will also bring Orion at the back for, for some of these, autonomous tasks that we want to do from Indus or what students want to ask. So Orion's also converted into Hindi. So we have actually changed the frame and reference for Orion into Hindi. We have chosen some of the Hindi models. Of course, I have my peers like Sarvam who are making LLMs. We are making LLMs. All those LLMs are placed inside Orion as an open source to say, can you utilize this LLM to make your agents ready, right? So for example, a student comes in and says, he's finding it hard to study physics. Can you make me a timetable? So can the agentic system make a timetable and make it ready for you? So that is something that we're going to showcase. From a bigger perspective, I think the world will see the power of how India is trying to create AI and diffuse it for the right cause in India AI Summit. You would be able to notice voice-to-voice models. I think voice has become a very important concept and construct in AI. So how do we understand voice constructs from, from our own language? How do we look at education, of course? How do we look at health? There are a group of companies who are working on health as well. So can we have some health monitor systems? Can we have a health conversational system where you give a diagnosis, or where you talk about a problem and they actually give you a little bit of diagnosis in terms of what to do? You'll also be able to see companies which are dealing with minerals. Is there a foundational model for rare minerals and mineral finding and material strengths that can we do? So you'll be able to see a large cross-section from telecom, from healthcare, from retail space, from from a mineral or a material perspective. So it's a big showcase. Big showcase in terms of saying, number one, India is ready from an AI perspective. India also doesn't want to stake a claim in the number of patents, etc. But India wants to stake a claim in terms of how we diffuse well with all our, with all the population that is there. And there are real targeted use cases that we want to apply with certain systems. India is aware that it has got linguistic diversity. How are we tackling linguistic diversity in various cases? I remember when I was talking with Vikram at one of the interviews, I said, a single sentence saying, last week I saw a film, and if you convert it into Hindi, it becomes, पिछले हफ्ते मैंने एक picture देखी. But in good Marwadi, it becomes लाडला हफ्ते मैंने film देखी. And now this word लाडला, if the token is not counted by us, the closest to लाडला is लाडला. Now, if you convert that sentence into something called Ladla Hafte Maine Picture Dekhi, has no connotational reference to what the person is trying to say. So we are aware, we are acutely aware that in this linguistically diverse nation, how do we make sure that we understand what people are saying, how we respond back with actions, perceptions and reasoning. So I think people in India AI Summit would be able to see a gamut of all of this combined together. that India is ready for at this point.